I gotta get that other one.
Your sidewalks are great. I know. Oh, I think it looks fine. It's like. Okay, that's not my circus. Nobody. Do you want to step up? I'll show him. He'll take it. Yeah.
Cheryl wants to do it. Rachel do that.
He would be fine. He would be happy to have the help like that.
We need to.
Not right now. I mean, the only real issue is having the February. Yeah. Yeah. it is something. I try to be organized. Is he the weather?
I think that Christmas snow will be
Well, no, I read about it. Yeah, it says 625 years. And it's on fire. Right. He's the.
Tim, I think we're ready if you are.
Either his house or someone got stuck because he lost 40 or a surge protector. Well,
Okay, everybody, I'd like to call the meeting to order if I could, please. It's 7 o'clock. Thank you, everyone, for attending the Town of Pendleton's Planning Commission special session for October 21st. If I could have a roll call, please. Rachel?
Brad Ballantyne,
here.
Carol Hanna,
Here.
Kyle Eichhorn,
Here.
Tim Pritchard,
Here.
Jenny Sisson,
Here.
Connie Schultz Heinz,
Here.
Cheryl Ramey Hunt. She's not present.
Okay, we do have a quorum. Thank you. If I could have the board to review the minutes from the September meeting. Those were unavailable on iPads at our first October meeting. They are in front of you now. About those for motion to approve.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes.
Thank you, Carol. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, thank you. All those in favor of adopting the minutes as submitted, please say aye.
Well, we'll do roll
Oh,
call.
Roll call, I'm sorry.
Brad Ballantyne,
Aye.
Carol Hanna,
Aye.
Kyle Eichhorn,
Aye.
Tim Pritchard,
Aye.
Jenny Sisson,
Aye.
Connie Schultz Heinz.
Aye.
And you, that one minus. Correct.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Old business is the Zafar Trust replat for property at 6108 West Foster's Branch Drive.
Yes, the plat is available to review again in your Google Drive folder. Keith made one minor revision noted by Kyle. Additionally, it was pointed out that two nearby property owners were not notified who were within the 300-foot radius, and notice was sent out to them, making them aware of this meeting. Planning staff has not received any word from those property owners.
Thank you, Cal. You're the owner, correct? Okay. Does anybody, the board have any questions? Questions? Anybody in the audience have any questions or comments concerning this?
Yes, I'm Lynn Lawyer with Decker Lawyer Maynard in Anderson, and I represent Franklin Urbans and Pendleton Development LLC, which owns property within and we did get notice, and my clients do not object to the combination of the lots. However, it is our belief that this body is not appropriately constituted and thus does not have the authority under Indiana statute to make the decision at this time.
Okay, thank you. Any comments, Jeff?
No, I respectfully disagree with Ms. Lawyer, is that issue is actually being litigated. I would make no comment at this time.
Thank you. Under those recommendations, I'll make the motion to accept PC 100720201 Safari Revocable Trust replat 6108 West Foster Branch as submitted, please. Can I have a second?
I second.
Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye, and the roll call vote.
Brad Valentine,
Aye.
Carol Hannah,
Aye.
Kyle Icorn,
Aye.
Tim Pritchard,
Aye.
Jenny Sisson,
Aye.
Connie Schultz Heinz.
Thank you. Motion's carried. New business is the public hearing regarding the recommendation of an ordinance to establish a moratorium on amendments to the zoning map that propose a more intense land use in a residential primary plat petitions creating more than 3 lots.
Okay, I'll speak to this a little bit. So this was something that we talked about at our last plan commission meeting. That's why we did schedule a special hearing tonight to discuss it further and to get public input about it. Kayla and I went through our planning documents today and our timelines from the projects, the 2 major projects that we've been working on for planning that we were under contract with, and we were shocked but not shocked that we were 17 months behind schedule on our unified development ordinance. And then that we are now 6 months behind on our thoroughfare plan update. It's kind of hard to talk about because, you know, we pride ourselves on doing a really good job in planning, and, you know, prior to the last couple of years, we had been producing a lot of new documents and updates to our projects and plans that we've been really proud of. You know, but I think, as we know, 2019 and this 2020 have been unusual circumstances for all of us. And it's put a lot of stress on the planning department on, you know, having short staff, but more importantly, the tornado that we experienced and then COVID happening while we were going through some staff transitions too. So as staff, I guess if this is something we would move forward with, we would recommend the 6 months. We think we can have enough staff time to get our unified development ordinance ready for adoption by the end of April, or for the April Plan Commission meeting, and then the April Town Council meeting. Our thoroughfare plan update would follow a very similar timeline. It would go a little bit beyond that April date, but we think the bulk of the document will be done, that we could feel comfortable making decisions and moving forward again. You can kind of see the tasks that are left on each project. And this is, we feel comfortable proposing the 6 months. And if we get done earlier than the 6 months, we wonder if there's a way that we could, you know, write this document, this ordinance, that if we get done sooner, that we could lift the moratorium sooner.
Okay.
If you guys have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them, but.
And just for the plan commissions, this is a zoning action. And so you're making a recommendation tonight, favorable, neutral, unfavorable to the ordinance. The ordinance itself, I didn't see it in your packet. So for those that, if you'd like, I could read it. It'll take just a few minutes.
Sure.
It's a ordinance 2020 that is on the council's agenda for tonight, and they will receive your recommendation at tonight's meeting. Whereas the Pendleton Town Council has adopted a unified development code which specifies the intent, permitted uses, special uses, development standards, and other requirements concerning various land use districts in the town of Pendleton. Whereas the town council has begun the process of redrafting its unified development code upon which the town's zoning ordinance is based. And upon whereas the drafting of the town's new unified development code is not complete, in some aspects, the town's current unified development code may be outdated. And whereas a backlog has been created in the planning department, which was created by a combination of the 2019 Memorial Day tornado, the COVID-19 pandemic, and the 6-month vacancy in the town manager position, which due to statutory and ordinance created deadlines has created the possibility of inefficiencies in the town's planning process. Whereas owing to these unforeseen delays, the operations of the town of Pendleton's planning department have been significantly hindered, preventing the planning staff from properly considering amendments to the town's unified development code. And whereas the town of Pendleton Plan Commission and Pendleton Town Council will be unable to draft and adopt an updated unified development code, which thoroughly addresses needed changes to the existing development code, necessitating a 180-day moratorium on the following petitions. 1, all residential primary plat petitions which result in the creation of 3 or more lots, or 2, petitions for zoning map amendments. And whereas this moratorium shall not be effective against any party who, on the date of the passage of this ordinance, has vested rights in development of a property, as that term is defined in Indiana law. So what that means, if there's a developer that's already sunk a bunch of money into things, it's planning on filing the petition tomorrow, they would be okay upon proof of showing those expenses. Now therefore be it ordained by the Pendleton Town Council as follows. Effective immediately upon the passage of this ordinance, a moratorium is in effect on all residential primary plat petitions resulting in the creation of 3 or more lots and petitions for zoning map amendments for a period of 180 days from the date of this ordinance is adopted or the adoption of a new unified development code, whichever date comes first. Keep in mind, you can always, if something happens, we get the thing done tomorrow, or we want to lift the moratorium, we can always make it shorter or always extend it. So that's you're voting to recommend or not recommend or say whatever you think to the council tonight. But it is a public hearing, and we, as all zoning actions, we have to invite public comment.
Right. So if we find a favorable recommendation tonight, would that safe to say it takes effect November 1st?
Well, it could take effect as early as tonight, if the council would pass it tonight on first reading.
So we're looking at right at the 1st of April for the 6 months.
Mhm.
It's the first of the year. Okay. All right. Any comments from the board?
I do. Typically with moratoriums, there's some kind of reportables. So at the end of it looks like December, January, February, the way you have these defined as your benchmarks. How are you going to report these up so we understand your own target?
We would have with our consultant, prior to us getting off of track on things, we were getting monthly staff reports from our consultant that summarized everything that had been done in that past month and where we were and what was needed and what the next steps were. So we would get back into that routine again of getting those documents from our consultant. And then if we had anything to add as staff, we would add to that and then present them at plan commission meetings.
You bring it to the plan commissions each month?
Yeah.
Question, Jay?
That's good.
Question?
I think I heard 3 or more, and then more than 3 with those.
I hope they weren't both in there. Let's see. Can 3 or more and more than 3 be the same?
3 is inclusive. More than 3
More
is
than-
4 or more.
You can't have more unless it's creation of 3 or more lots. That would be it. There's moratorium on that. It's 3 or more. Sorry.
So it's going to be more than 3.
No. Well, yes.
There's a moratorium on, if you have 3, there's a moratorium. 1 or 2 is okay. Yep. Okay, thanks.
Any comments or questions from the audience, please? Okay, hearing that. I guess I'll,
Anything, I'm sorry, did we get anything written, any emails or anything written?
I didn't receive anything. Did you, Caleb? No.
fine.
That's good.
Right.
I have no questions.
All right, thank you.
And there's no public input online. I think the only one sitting in is Keith Van Weenen.
All right. Not hearing any more questions from the board or from the audience, I'll make a motion to recommend a favorable recommendation to move this to the council, which is actually follows our meeting tonight.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Brad. We have a roll call vote. Rachel?
Brad Valentine,
Aye.
Carol Hannah,
Aye.
Kyle Icorn,
Aye.
Tim Pritchard,
Aye.
Jenny Sisson,
Aye.
Connie Schultz Heims.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Favorable comment, we'll take it to the council meeting, leads after our meeting, is that correct?
7:30.
Okay, great. You got touch questions or comments for the board? All right. Thank you all for coming. Meeting's adjourned.